Hello guys, hello everyone. In today's session, we'll discuss about data types and variables. Let us start. So we have a lot of programming languages. We have lot of programming languages and we write a lot of programs, right? So what is the whole point of writing programs? You'll have some data and then you'll try to manipulate the data. So at the end of the day, any program which you're writing is kind of manipulating the data. So before manipulating the data, what is the first thing you have to do? You have to store the data, correct? So in programming languages, this task will come under variables. So you will actually use variables to store data. Now let me take a very small example. Say for suppose you want to store, say, rice. If you want to store rice, can you tell me what is the storage unit you'll use? You will use knapsack. Say for suppose you want to store water. If it is water, maybe 2-3 liters of water, what is that you'll use? Water bottles. As simple as that. Say for suppose this time you want to store money. You can use a purse. If it is sweets, you will use a sweet box. Now, what is this saying? This is saying that for different type of items you want to store, you are using different kinds of storage units. In similar way, for different kinds of data, you'll have to use different types of variables. Now, tell me what are different types of data? Few different types of data, which we very frequently use. Numbers, positive numbers, negative numbers. Can I simply say integers? What if you want to store points, 0.3, 0.4, 1.3, 1.4, all these kinds of numbers? In other words, can I say they are rational numbers? And what else? Obviously, your text, the things you're typing, A, B, all these things, correct? Text we type. And maybe something called as true or false. Now, the thing is very simple, guys. If at all it is integers, the type of variable we have to use is called as int. If it is rational numbers, that is, you'll have point and decimal point numbers, we'll use something called as float. The text which you're typing, A, B, special characters, all these things, we'll use something called as character. And a simple true or false, that is Boolean. So to store this different types of data, we have different types of variables. Now the question is that how can we use this type of variables? First thing you need to understand is before we use any type of variables, first you have to declare a variable. Now the immediate question is, well, how can you declare a variable? That is very simple. The rules to declare any variable is as follows. First, you need to have any data type and followed by a variable name, semicolon. That's it. Either this or you can have a data type, a variable name initialized to some default value. That's it. You can use one of the two ways to initialize to declare your variables. Now the question is, what in the world are these data types? Don't worry, you already learned them. These are nothing but your data types. That means if you want to store integer, you have to use int data type. If you want to store rational numbers, decimal numbers, you have to store float. If you want to store text, you have to use character. This is the idea. As very simple example is something like this. Say you want to store integer, you can simply write int x equals to say maybe 30. If it is say float, maybe you can simply say float y is equals to 45.6, something like that. This is one way you can declare your variables and use them. Now, let me give you one more small scenario. You want to store rice, fine, you're using knapsack. If at all say you want to use maybe store 20-30 kgs of rice, in that case, can I say you'll slightly use a bigger knapsack? Similarly, if say you want to store 20-30 liters of water, in that case, can I say you'll actually use water tins? If you have a lot of money to store, lot of money to protect, then in case you'll use banks. That means even in the same scenario, if you want to store a bigger number, here bigger number in the sense with more digits, you can use something called as long int, or you can also use long. In the same way, if you want to use a bigger decimal number, you want to store a bigger decimal number, in that case, you'll use something called as double. If you want to store even bigger, then you can use something called as long double. This is interesting. When it comes to text, if you want to store a single thing, a single alphabet or a single number or anything which is single, then you can use a character. But obviously, we always want to store a bunch of things, right? Single is not at all useful for us. So that is where string comes into the picture. Now you can ask a question. Okay, sir, we'll use long to store big. But big is fine, but how big? I mean, you have to understand what is the meaning of big, right? So to understand that, let us understand what are sizes of each data types. At max, in int, we can store 4 bytes. In long int, you can store 8 bytes. Then this will say 12 bytes. Double is 8 bytes. Long double is 12 bytes. Char is 1 byte and Boolean is also 1 byte. We'll see strings little later. But here there's a small issue. Both long int and long long are wrong. The thing is, surprisingly, long long is actually 8 bytes. Now your immediate question is, if int is 4 bytes, long long is 8 bytes, then you'll guess long int is 6 bytes. That is also wrong. Here, the long int size will actually depend on your system architectures. In few systems, it is 4 bytes. In few systems, it is 8 bytes. In which kinds of system it is what? That is slightly out of our content. We'll discuss it later. So in simple terms, say if you want to store a bigger number, in that case, can I say long long is actually a preferable one? You can simply use long long. Done. So now we understood what is the size of each data type. Okay, all good, excellent. But what is the meaning of 4 bytes? I mean, if someone is saying it is 4 bytes, how much can you store? So this will be discussed in the next session. What is the significance of 4 bytes, 8 bytes, and 12 bytes? How much you can store? This significance, we'll do it in the next session. Before we close for today, there are few more rules which I want to highlight. Rules for declaration. Rule number 1. It is very simple, guys. Before using any item, can I say I have to buy the item? Obviously, right? You can't directly steal the entire TV. You have to buy the TV and then you have to bring it to your home. In a similar way, before using any variable, first you have to declare the variable. So first, declare variable and then use it. Second point is about your variable names. Can you have anything in your variable names? Can you keep man marzi? Nah, that much is not there. There are two very, very important rules when it comes to variable names. First, it can only contain either capital letters or small letters or numbers, or there is one more special character, that is underscore. It can only contain these things. It cannot contain anything other than that. And there is one more small rule. Your variable name cannot start with a number. That's it. There you go. These are the few important rules for your variable declaration, guys. So first thing, before you use anything, declare it. Done. Second thing, variable names. It can only contain either capital or small or number or underscore. Second thing, your variable name cannot start with a number. These are the few rules to declare a variable. And these are about data types and their sizes. We will see what is the significance of these sizes in the next session. Now, let us see a very small code to understand the rules clearly. Now, here you can see we declared a lot of variables here. We declared 4 variables. Now, let us run this code. As you can see here, you're getting compiled output. First thing, at line number 6, you're getting an output here. Why? Because in your variable name, you used @ You cannot use @. Why? The things which you can use is either capital, small, number, or underscore. Underscore. Here we are using @, so not valid. Second, line number 5 is also giving you an error. Why? Here you are starting your variable name with a number. That you cannot do. You can only start with either capital, small, or underscore. So let us remove these two improper variable names and let us run the code. You're not getting any error. That means this particular code is correct. Now, small question. Is this variable name correct? Yes or no? Take a minute and tell me. You're not getting any compile time output. That means this is working correctly. So in this case, this is also correct. Why? It contained only small characters or capital letter or numbers or underscore. That's it for today, guys. In tomorrow's session, we'll discuss about the 4 bytes, 8 bytes, and the ranges of data types. Take care. Bye.